make sure that it takes place. HR, do we have an agenda? Or is it one item agenda? So before I hand over to the HR, because this is the HR's function, I want to welcome Mr. Agre from the Auditor's Office, Internal Auditor's Office. Mr. Agre, we thank you very much for sparing time this morning. I know it's very bad weather, but also your office is very busy. I'm told that this time is usually too busy for that office. But the fact that you spared some time to come and witness this very important activity in the college, we don't take it for granted. Thank you very much. And thank you, colleagues, for coming out to support our colleagues. It's not usually very easy to work so hard with a team of people with a lot of support, but also find the time to do other things. I want to congratulate Professor Turya, as I usually call you, for a job well done. And I know your team has been very supportive and they will dearly miss you. I don't want to ask the same question I keep asking. Why did you serve only one term and not more than one? But you're not at liberty to answer. But I know your team will miss you. But at the same time, I want to congratulate Dr. Obaa. I know that your team has entrusted everything that they have in your docket to make sure that you lead them to the promised land. I don't know what that promised land is in the department, but I'm sure having been there long enough, you know what the department expects of you. It was an overwhelming majority. We don't take that for granted. And it puts a lot of, actually I call it a heavy load and weight on your shoulder to be able to deliver on what they expect of you. But I have no doubt that you will do it because you've been tested elsewhere. I hope you bring that expertise to the department. We have a lot of hope in this department. Fortunately or unfortunately, I belong to that department. And there's a lot of hope in the new strategic direction of the university. Extension and innovation is going to be, or is already being planned for to be the flagship activity of the entire university. There's no other unit in the university that has extension. And this is related also to the government development plan, where farming, agriculture, rural innovations, rural livelihood improvement is key on government's agenda. The question is, what is this department going to contribute? And with new leadership, we expect a lot more than what we have done in the past. Not that what we have done in the past is insufficient, but the new strategic direction calls for a lot more than what we have provided thus far. I want to believe that we are better placed and strategically oriented to be able to make Makerere's flag shine even higher. With those few remarks, I would like to invite the HR to take us through the next part of the activity.
Okay. My colleagues who are here, I take this opportunity to again welcome you at this handover of the chair of the Department of Extension and Innovation Studies to the incoming chair, Dr. Bernard Obaa. I would like again to appreciate your time. I've been the head for the last 4 years, since 2nd of November 2019. And I'm glad that I've been able to go through this period, and I would like to appreciate all this support I got from you especially from my department, notwithstanding some challenges. There are many people who contributed to my success, and I'd like to appreciate the principal, the outgoing Professor Bashasha, and the incoming Professor Kulitina, and your deputies. I think they have done a great job to make what I've been doing a success. I would also like to appreciate the deans. The dean, the previous dean, Professor Mbasha, we worked very well, and the incoming dean, with the current dean, Professor JB. I believe JB, we didn't have any quarrel in our working, and I really appreciate it. It's always good to work, and when you are leaving, you leave at the office when you've not clashed with your bosses. Then to my colleagues in my department, I think they have been behind me, especially the coordinator. I've worked with several coordinators. I've worked with PROSEA, the coordinator for graduate studies. I'm now working with the Dr. Osira and Dr. Orum. They have done a great job to make my work a success. Then the examination coordinators, Dr. Prismo. Then I've also had some other coordinators of programs, Dr. Florence Chaze and Betty, for coordinating Bali exam, which is a big issue. They have done very well in helping with timetabling. And then for Gabuji, who has also been coordinating the undergraduate program, the Bali program. So these people have really done a great job. Then we have had the other people whom we normally take for granted. Mr. Kasuja, our technician, Rusi, Nambacha, and Deborah. Those are the non-teaching staff. They have been there when we doing the work, when we organize seminars, making our press screen, Kasuja making sure that when the teaching, things are set, the equipment is set. They have done a great job in helping our department succeed. And during that time, I would like to report on some of the successes that we've been able to achieve at the department. One on the students and academic performance. I would like to report that we had registered a good number of Bali external and internal students graduating. When I entered the graduation lot, in fact, we had issues, and one time even that they commissioned a report to a state. They have commissioned a report why the back students were not performing well, and we did that, and through our effort with my staff, I think the improvement in the back student has greatly improved, and really give glory to God for that. We also registered an increase in the graduation for our masters and our PhD students. Whenever we have graduation, I say, in terms of the PhD students, our first students are always the highest from Scieneces, and that one cannot take it for granted. I really appreciate my staff who have been able to do that. Then on the staff capacity building and professional growth, our staff members have been able to get PhD during my term at the head. Dr. Boniface Rum, Dr. Use Murugo, Dr. Christopher Mawa, and Dr. Rebecca Mukemezi. I think to me this has been also a great achievement. In those 4 years, we have had 4 PhD students, the staff graduating with the PhDs. And one of our members retired during my term, Dr. J.J. Okro, but we were also able to get a new member, Dr. Moses Okech, who is with us here. And one of our staff registered for a PhD and making some good progress. That is Mr. Dixon Mijomishu. Also, 2 of my staff members were promoted. That is also a great achievement. Dr. Ruse Murugo and Dr. Christopher Mawa from assistant lecturer to lecturer position. And 5 of my staff were confirmed in the university service. Dr. Sarah Akero, Dr. Rusila Nasrumbi, Dr. Moses Okej, and Mrs. Deborah Nachide. Then in terms of curriculum, we've also had time to revise our curriculum, and we successfully revised our program, Master of Agriculture Extension and Education, and it was approved. Although that was approved, we renamed it, now MARI, Master of Agriculture Extension and Rural Innovation, and it will be able to start next academic year. We've also been revising our undergraduate programs, our BARI and BACS. We finished at was approved at the departmental level, the school level, the college level, and on Friday it was also approved by the Senate Policy and Appeals Committee. So you can see it is moving. What is pending on the curriculum is our PARI program. So the incoming head, those are tools, the incoming head, I would like to look at our PARI. It is due for revision, and also to work the completion of our BACS and the PARI program. In terms of research, we have also been doing some research in our department. We've successfully had some projects. One which we had on enhancing the capacity of faculty and students on the BARI program, which we are to see how they can be able to navigate in well. I had some colleagues who were working on that project, Dr. Gaudi Kawanga and Dr. Rebecca were there, so we developed materials and we were able to provide guidance on how staff can be able to access them very easily. And we were working with IODL, and for staff who have been working on the BARI exam program, I think they're able to access that web program, and also platform with our BARI exam students. We also have another project on diversity and inclusion, where we are working with Michigan State University and some members from Michigan Field, our business initiative. On that project, I was there with Dr. Osira, and we were able to train staff on diversity and inclusion. And in one of our trainings, I think our principal was able to attend. We were able to get some notes boards, which you can see when you visit our department, the 2 notes boards, which were able to be installed by that project. Then we also currently we are having another project on SECA, the Early Career Academics Program, and this is a postdoc program, and we have Dr. Christopher Mawa and Dr. Rusemu are the students or are the postdoc fellows. We expect to receive some equipment to install in our room 10, and the process of procurement is ongoing. And I think in my report you'll be able to see the details of the equipment and the material that is procured, installed in that room 10 to facilitate online teaching, learning, and our graduate programs. In terms of collaboration, we have also been able to strengthen our collaboration with some institutions. We already had an existing MOU with the Sesekawa Africa 2000, and during my term, we were able to receive ICT equipment, which we were able to distribute to the staff. But we still have those which are also in our head's office, like the 2 projectors. We have also solar projectors, and all that equipment, it is within this report. But I would encourage our incoming head to continue with that collaboration with CSECAO, because they are our major supporter in terms of training, internship, and also support when it comes to training. One of the facilities is the Continuing Agriculture Extension Center, KAYEK, which is the in Kamanyo, and the incoming head is the director. So that one has quite a number of items. They are included in the details in this report, and I've included them. I'll be able to hand over to you this report and be able to see the number, the equipment that are included: computers, beds, TV sets, tables, bookshelves, warmers, beds, mattresses, and quite many. They are detailed in this report. Then the department also has some vehicles. The vehicles, it has 4 vehicles. Unfortunately, I have not touched any key of those vehicles, but those vehicles are on record. They are there. One, the UAD 907 Nissan double cabin pickup is with Dr. Florence Birungi, it's in good condition. UAD 181E double cabin pickup with Associate Professor Paul Chibika, condition. Then we have UAA 338E, a Toyota Hilux pickup with Dr. Richard Miro, fair condition. Then we have a Land Cruiser hard top UAA 435F at KAYEK. I also believe that this is also in a fair condition. Then I also would like to report on the teaching staff, their ranks and qualifications. They are also detailed in this report. We have 23 teaching staff. 20. The department has a total of 23 staff, of whom 20 are academic staff, and 3 are the non-teaching, our copy typist, the lab assistant, and the cleaner or the messenger. But of these 20 staff, 19 have PhDs. So, my incoming head, you have a competent staff. If things don't move, you don't have any excuse. Your staff actually only one is the one who doing a PhD, and the rest have PhDs. Then I would also like to report on the teaching and office equipment. We have received the 5 Zoom packages. They are there to facilitate online teaching. One is with me, another one is with Dr. Prof. Another one is with Dr. Gabuji Karwanga, another one is with Dr. Chris Mawa, and another one is with Dr. Rebecca Makerere. So, in case you want to organize a meeting or any online, these Zoom meetings, these Zoom packages, they are available to facilitate departmental activities. In terms of office equipment, I've been able to detail all this equipment that are within the offices. There are only 3 offices which didn't have any equipment for the university. I think your office, the office of Paul Chibika, and the office of Professor again. But in each office, I did an inventory, and all the equipment that is available, it is recorded in this report, and the number and their status. They are here, which I've been able to hand over to you in this report. In terms of stationery, we still have other stationery and cleaning materials. Some of these stationery which are living with you, they are within your office, including reams of paper, box files, manila, flip charts. All files, and you'll be able to find them there. Then also we have some cleaning materials. We've just procured them. They are also with the I've listed them. They are with our cleaner in the store with the cleaner. They are also in our in this report. So the things which I have to hand over to you. You know, when you hand over, there are things which must be feasible to see in this room. I have office keys.
book.
I have official stamp, which I have to hand over to you. I have a funeral card. Our principal is here. I don't know when it last received. It is as dry as a desert because my bosses are here. They know when they last. I cannot even remember. Actually, I have to look for it where I kept it. But finally, by this morning, I was able to get it. So that's an indicator that has been dry for quite long. I also have a soft copy of the minutes, departmental minutes, the curriculum, results, committee minutes, staff and monthly schedules. These which you'll be using, especially to fill every month. I have soft copies. I'll put them on the memory stick, which I'm also going to hand over to you after my coming here. I also have a soft copy and a hard copy of this report. This report that I have a hard copy and also a soft copy of it. Having said that, I would like to again apologize on one side to some of my colleagues who are here. Perhaps my execution of my work, there could have been things which did not go well in execution of my work. So, if there is any of you who is here, or those who may not be here, my sincere apologies for that, for what could have happened. And for the thing that went well, for sure, I have to give glory to God and also for your support. To my incoming head, I congratulate you and I welcome you. And I pledge to work with you. Please don't make me redundant, my dean and my people don't make me redundant. Don't make me redundant. I've now come to sit at the back bench, but I'm available where I can. Yes. Again, thank you for listening and thank you for coming to witness this handover.
But at least one for him to peruse as you do the rest of the copy.
But then you can't pass it up.
And also are you that what has been read actually?
Okay. Oh, it's because some of these things I didn't know the procedures.
I think at this point we will hear from the incoming and then reactions from
and colleagues here. I want to take this chance to thank you. Thank everyone. First of all, I want to thank the outgoing chair, not for the work done, but for encouraging me to go for this position. Initially, I had refused. I don't know how many times I came to my place begging that please make pass. I said these things are not for me. See, I'm not somebody who likes these offices. I said, no, you can do it. So finally, I accepted that. With encouragement from colleagues who come around that, I finally accepted to step in. Otherwise, for me, without your encouragement, we wouldn't be here. I would not be here right now. So thank you very much for essentially pushing me into this. But I think we will do it because for me, once you accept some responsibility, you have to do it. Even if the things are not good, just because you've accepted, you have to do it. Otherwise, if you are not committed, if I'm not committed, I will just say no. But because I've said yes now, I have no option but to give my best in this. So thank you very much for that. I also want to thank you for the last 4 years. It's been challenging sometimes, but you are very steadfast and very bold. I wish I could learn some of those traits to be very decisive in many of these things. You have achieved a lot of things. You have implemented them. The department has progressed well, and so we want to build on what you have done. And I hope that you'll be able to, as you promised, to be available. Because for me, I'm also new in these things. I'm not really a typical politician or yeah, just like my work. I want to be in the background. I'm not really someone who likes limelight and making speeches. It's not my own. By now, I've been thrust to that, so I'm going to learn a lot from you in terms of this public engagement and how to handle this. So I'm going to learn a lot on your experience and how you've been handling this, particularly this one of the curriculum which is ongoing, because in 1 week's time we're supposed to submit a revised version to the Senate, so we're going to work together for this. I also want to thank the colleagues in the department for voting. I've been asked why people voted like that. I have no idea, and actually it's a bit scary that you see almost everyone voted. I think that means that you have to do a good job, and that will be scary. So we have this challenge of now trying to perform, because with all these votes now, if I don't do a good job, it's going to be a very bad thing. So people have voted a lot. I thank the principal. When I called her, she said, I'm going to vote for you. I said, thank you. Because I was not like, she doesn't vote. Yes, I have to thank you for your service. I'm going to support you. So I'm very happy I've joined your management team, and I'm going to support your agenda for the college. I'll be your foot soldier at the department level, and we're going to work together. You can rely on my support for some of the things you want to do, both in Muarek and also here within the department. We have a lot of work to do in Muarek, even if I've been in Kabato for some time. We can work together to see how we can improve things. So thank you very much for that support, and I promise that I'm going to try to do the best to build on what has been happening. So I want to thank the colleagues here for coming to witness. This shows support. You have left all the work we're doing. I know this is supposed to be in class. Like is busy trying to submit her final corrections, and I'm excited to see Prof here in this meeting. So thank you very much, and I hope that you will work together and be able to achieve some things. Because in this job, they're not really too many resources, but most of it is support. So without resources, I don't know how you guys can motivate their people, but it's a very challenging one. So most of the things I'll ask you will be like, I'm sorry, you to work where there's no money. So with that, see, there's not much that you can do, you just take people to join. But if you have resources, you can be able to motivate people. In the current dispensation, there isn't really much the department chair has, but it's just going to rely on you for work. So we have to work together, and given the new direction the university is taking, there's going to be a fresh focus on our department. And with all the qualifications we have, everyone with a PhD. Within 1 year, everybody will have a PhD in the department. And so we can actually move forward and work together, we can achieve better things. So I just ask for unity in this period, and I think together we can achieve better things. Thank you very much, and I thank you for this occasion.
Welcome very much to the heads present.
Now, we didn't hear any comment about the report from the inner cabinet.
Oh, the report. Yes, you see, we are all learning these things. I said,
Maybe what I saw in the report, if I chip in, I always tell, when I came in act, when Professor Abia would sit, I acted. Then there was the transition, and I was appointed a head. So there was no handover. So for me, what I'm handling is things which I have just seen, which will be my rather not from the previous report. So there could be other things which could be existing, which I don't know. But for me, I've handed over what I see at present.
But you've been around.
Yes.
You've been around enough 4 years, is not small. So if you didn't see it, then possibly it's
Yeah, so I accept the report, even though I haven't read the details. But I was taking minutes here, you know. So based on your presentation and what I actually here, I accept the report.
Extension studies, the director audits, since you're in that capacity, you still remain in that position. One time I was away somewhere, and one of the assistants of the commissioner was representing the minister, and I was informed by protocol that actually the minister is around, so we have to behave as the minister is around. So I have to recognize the presence of long-term audit. The last for the remarks, may I want to thank and congratulate the outgoing head for the work already done, keeping the department united amidst all the many challenges that we could have faced. The turbulences exist, even when most of us may enjoy flying. You expect the turbulences that sometimes hit you in the sky, and you feel like you should go back on the ground, but you have no opportunity to go on the ground, but keep in the air and subsist until you reach the final destination. With the time, the short time I worked with you, because you know, I came in a transition, I started with Professor Johnny, then I came in along the way. Been able to work on the curriculum as you reported, and I'm happy to thank you for that support in the curriculum. At one time, I know it was almost a wrong job, but one thank you for where it has reached. The level of having approved at that committee of Senate is not a simple process. And building capacity of your staff, when you are reporting, I was wondering, this department is now overqualified. It's overqualified, so you have reached the minimum, and I believe Nixon will also soon be there, because he's really hard working. He's been on my office almost every time, following up and updating on his progress. I have no doubt that he will certainly make it. I want to request the incoming head to encourage him to get more to the ground. I know he's also a businessman, but he's also a very good academician. And for the incoming head, I want to welcome you and promise that we shall work together. And for you, we have to work together by all means, because when there are issues, even before I got the principal, I got the bishop, you are my fellow ex-seminarian. I'm then the bishop that this ex-seminarian is not doing a good job. As brothers, we must work together. If not the chaplain, we shall really handle our matters. So either way, we shall be forced to work well and work together. And I request you that you maintain the cohesion that you help the department, and this was very clear in the voting pattern. So you have the break of almost everyone, and I could see the message we came in from your, don't call him monopoly, by only calling the co-candidates, great support. So you have the department, I think, at the back of you, and they should be doing and work with you. As you come in, I thought my principal would have mentioned this to you. Last year, I think around May, we had a retreat, which the head media forgotten to include in the report to hand over the progress. That notice you see there is an output of that meeting that we have. This college is now running on innovation intentional, and when I see that word innovation and your department is innovation, that shows you that you are owning the moving slogan of the college. So you must make it happen, and it happen must begin from your department. Then we need support together. The mandate of the university is now being researched, and I'm happy that as the head reported, there are many graduate students coming from your department. And I know you have more capacity. Last year when we were doing admissions, Mr. Head is aware, as he mentioned, increase in ability. We were overwhelmed. I think we had about 58 applicants for Masters of Agriculture Extension and Education. That was the first time. Because the other year had been refragged in Senate. They're saying, why are you not having candidates under this program? Can we phase it out or you manage them? Actually, the DBCAA was saying these programs in agriculture should be managed under one Masters in Agriculture, then you can have we call them strands or options in extension, soil science, animal science. At this time when they were meeting, I wasn't in there, but I don't think those comments came back because we were really overwhelmed in the extension. We had about 60 in economics, I think they were about 70. The group science, they also about 60. Soil science, for animal science for the first time had about 30 applicants. So you can see we're coming at a time when there is a lot of interest in graduate training at this university. Then the other thing, your department is to, what I expect under your new leadership is increasing engagement with the communities. As the head has said, the department is already making engagements, but we want to make more visibility of engagement with the communities, and there are not many entries. We have this PDM, which is almost a password for every politician to work in the community. You must talk about PDM. If you're not talking about PDM, then you know you're in the wrong position with government. So we want to see how we engage with the communities, and your department should be at the forefront. I've been telling members in the department that every time we're having students here presenting, students have conclusions or recommendations out of their output. How has this information filtered through the communities? Can you help me? And we see how we push that information into, maybe start with an annual output of recommendations of technology that the farmers can receive. It could be in form of leaflets. We may have leaflets of technologies which are being presented through a master, not necessarily from extension, but in the whole school. And perhaps since you are your innovation department and extension department in the college, including those which will come from forestry, those which will come from food science, can we have an annual leaflet that we can share with farmers? This year we have discovered a new method, for example, of controlling fire alarms, because they have worked a lot on fire alarms. This year we have got a new formula for fertilizer, this information we have. This year we have got a new method of increasing returns, this may be from extension, and for members in forestry, which new methods are coming in. Those summaries of, even if you pick one, the summaries from Scieneces, I believe we can be able to have an input with the communities. You are coming in at a time when we are doing when the university is doing staff restructuring, and the department, the numbers are increasing from 19 now, according to the current structure. The number that is being proposed is 21, but it's going to be an inverted pyramid. An inverted pyramid, I think it'll be having 5 professors, 5 associate professors, then 4 senior lecturers, maybe 4 lecturers and 2 assistant lecturers. That's what is being proposed. But last week I had the privilege of having lunch with the DVCAA in a meeting, and so I shared with him, I told him how we are being suffocated by staff doing in that restructuring program. I told him, why you are telling us to have only 4 professors? The 4 professors cannot supervise 45 graduate students that are coming through the college. And I told him that actual supervision is not a restricted professors, but even lecturers, and even assistant lecturers who have PhDs, we are engaging them in supervising students. And I told him informally, I said, in reality, there are very few professors who go to class to teach. Those who teach do the don't work, and his ranks which are low. And then he said, put in a petition. I put in my principal, you have seen a copy which I sent, and I'm praying that they can give us more numbers, and along that way we can be able to increase the number of staff in our department. I know there are many things. Coming in as a head of a department, you become a de facto member in every committee in the school. Let it be appointments, let it be finance, let it be student issues. So, sir, you know, every time you're receiving invitations, even if you don't receive an invitation, but you hear that there's a meeting in Dean's office, you know you're a de facto member. You're a de facto member. So you need to know, just even at college level, there are committees where you're a de facto member. Whether you are there, you have to delegate. If you are not delegating, you must be there. And even when you're delegating, you delegate the information that you need to be incorporated into the incoming meeting or the agenda, the items on the agenda. Without wasting a lot of time, let me once again welcome you. And last but not least, to mention that I'm very happy that my OB is taking over the department. Madam Principal, you told us very well because now the department is, the School of Agricultural Sciences is under the cohort of 1995. Dr. Mildred Ocho in extension, then I have now Dr. Obaa Mildred Ocho in DAP, then Obaa in DAP, JB at the school. We are waiting to take over economics. And then we can include our, what category calls it, tafari. Tafari. We put our tafari and then we can proceed. Best wishes, sir.
Director Auditor.
The outgoing head of department, the incoming, and members present. Well, I was sent here by the director. As you are aware, there is always management meeting every Monday. So he had going to attend the management meeting, so he requested me to come and stand in for him. Like Dr. JB said, promotion, I think. Yes, you work on promotions. We thank you for that, and we wish you well in your office that you are going to take. Yes, HR, I think with the time you will be guiding people how to make and what not. Ideally, we should be having copies here so that we go through whatever is telling us, we obey and we follow. But we are just still the same. Good enough we are not in that some issues. But with the time to guide somebody leaving office, so that when we are in a meeting, we move together. Thank you. Thank you very much, Principal. At the end, we shall be having a group photo and the exchange of files for the day.
Yeah.
How to go into that in the country. Thank you very much.
Honor, turn over to you. This is the hard copy of the report. This is the soft copy of the report, and including other departmental minutes and other documents. This is the fuel card. This is the departmental stuff. And finally, either the office keys.
So now we are putting
I wish you the best. Thank you.
HR, you're very
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Group photo,